Welcome to part 52 of Majora's Mask, and we are now going to start our exploration of the inverted stone tower temple. So let's go into this room right here first, and you'll notice that the doors here are kind of inverted too. The sun is now at the bottom while the ground is at the bottom, on the top or something. Anyway, first you want to shoot the light arrow at the sun block to get rid of it. Now this room right here, this is actually the room where we had that was mostly filled with water, and we had to go up to a bridge and shoot and reflect the sunblock off a mirror. So yeah, we're in that room now, and it won't be the only room we will visit that we've visited before. So now this room has turned into a gust room, and there are 3 gusts here, and what we're going to do here is, first off, we're going to transform into our Deku form. Well, actually, before we do that, what I'm doing right now is, see this frozen switch right there? We're going to shoot it. Yeah. Shoot it with a fire arrow. And by shooting the switch, a chest will appear right in this alcove right there. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to take the middle gust, the middle air gust. Now, like I said before, if you're in Deku form, you can take the, you can just walk into one of these gusts and your propeller flowers will activate automatically. So that's always nice. Of course, there are blue bubbles in that tunnel area, but don't worry, we will not be encountering them yet. Yeah, don't worry, you will not fall off. See, there we go. So you'll just use this gust to just fly yourself over to this area with the chest. And we get another stray fairy. Hooray. Alright. Now, we have to get to the upper area of this room. So again, get to, you can either put on the mask and just hop on into one of the gusts, or just go put on one of the gusts from the bottom. So yeah, and upward we go. Now, when we get to right here, you want to go down to where this bridge is and the hip loop again. And I don't want this thing to attack me, so you just want to guide yourself to the ledge where the pots is, because the ledge where the pots are slightly elevated. So the hip loop will not attack you, and all we have to do is just hook shot the thing to death. Now I said that the temple, while the temple is upside down, it's also mirrored, because if it were truly upside down, then this room would be on the right side instead of the left. On the right side up version of the temple, this room was also on the right side. So it's not only upside down, it's mirrored. It's a mirrored version of this place. So yeah. Just let you know. I mean, it's like a weird twisted. Anyway, any which way you look at it, this place is now twisted, and I like this unique concept for this temple. It's much better than Great Bay's. I hate that temple. Okay, no more Great Bay. We have done that. We've completed that. We're gonna finish this temple right now. Yeah. Anyway, after you defeat the hip loop. As you can see right here, first thing you want to do is head into this corridor right here and step on this switch right here. And it will create a treasure chest right there where the pots are. Now do not go any further, because that pathway will lead you to the Dexy hand, and we shouldn't attempt to make contact with the Dexy hand, because it could throw you to oblivion. Yeah. Anyway, we get ourselves a small key. Now before we move on to the locked door in this area, what we're going to do right now is we're going to get some treasure chests in here. Now, as you notice here, the gusts of wind are actually blowing up at different levels. The one in the middle is the lowest, and the one that's under the bridge. This one right here is the second highest, and it'll just give you enough thrust to get you to this platform right here. And of course, we have a pressure switch that's surrounding this chest right here. Now, of course, if you remember to press the switch back when the temple was right side up and full of water, you know, right behind those spike bomb things like those right there, this chest would have appeared upside down. So now we are going to get that chest. Anyway, play the Elegy of Emptiness to make sure that the switch stays put. Yeah. Alright, what we're going to do now here is, I don't know if you can actually destroy the spike bomb things from this angle. I mean, I tried to, but yeah, it's better. It's easy enough. It's easier just to go ahead and go for it. I mean, the spike bomb things are at a like they're spaced out enough that you can actually make it if you use Deku form. So let's go ahead and get to it. Now what we need to do is get to that gust of wind that's over on the other side. Of course, you can either do that by getting to the bridge area or just dropping back down to the first floor. Now, of course, the gust of wind can ruin your little flight mojo, so plan your flight carefully. Don't worry, folks. If this happens, it's not the end of the world. You can just use this one to go straight back up. Then once you get straight back up, just head straight towards that treasure chest. Of course, be careful of the spike bombs. Don't let it touch you. And yeah, we made it. All right, this treasure chest contains a stray fairy. Hooray! Yay. Alright. Now, before we move on to that door over there on the left, there is actually one more thing we can do in here. There is actually a sun switch that's like right there. And what I'm going to do now is once I land, I'm going to go and shoot that thing with a light arrow. Alright. Now, by shooting this sun switch with the light arrow right here, if you've been paying attention, more than likely this will produce another treasure chest. As soon as I aim it properly, that is. There we go. But of course, that treasure chest will be upside down, which means we're going to have to flip the temple again in order to get to it. But first, let's complete this inverted temple area. So, we're done with this room for now. So, let's just hop into this gust right over here. But first, I wanted to get some arrows just to make sure. Alright, now we're ready to go. Alright, just hop on into this thing and up we go. We are going to get to this platform right over here, and again, be careful of the spike bombs because they can be treacherous. Alright. Okay, now this is a room that we have never been into before because I don't remember, because this room has a gimmick and it has like falling fire rocks because there is actually lava on the ceiling. And as you can see here, there is also a blood red jewel thingy like the one outside of Stone Temple. So, if that's any indication, pull out the light arrows, shoot the switch, and the room will flip. And now will enable us to walk along the lava as a Goron. So, I mean, I think it's possible you can make it to the other side without flipping the switch, but I've never tried it. Besides, it's easier this way just to cross the room like this. So anyway, once you're on the other side, pull out the light arrows again and flip this room back over because the door out of here is on the other side. So yeah. Now, when we enter this room, the next room that we're going to come up to, it'll actually contain a gimmick. What we have is another blood red jewel thingy which we have to shoot to flip the room. But also there is a big old puzzle block that we have to push over to the other side of that room. And the gimmick here is we have to keep shooting the red crystal thingy to get to the block to the other side. Like, we have to push the block as far as we can go and then switch the thing, rinse and repeat. So, yeah. Yeah, you just push the block as far as you go, shoot the light arrow at the switch, and flip the room, push the block again, over and over and over. Now, this is going to take a little while for me to solve, so let's go ahead and speed things up, shall we? Because I won't bore you with me pushing, and you can do it on your own. So, yeah. Yeah, eventually you will get the block into this little slot right here, and it will open the door, and it will create a platform for us to climb up to the door. Now this room has magic choo-choos and arrow choo-choos so that you will not run out of magic energy or arrows while flipping this room over and over and over, getting the block to this little area right here. So, yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of this room. Just mind your surroundings, keep looking up to make sure that you're going the right way, and you'll solve this puzzle no problem. Oh look, another whiz robe to boss a fight. This one shoots fire. In fact, I'm not even going to show this fight because we all know the outcome. Yeah. Anyway, once we kill this whiz robe, a chest will appear, and we need to hook shot that chest. Now, the gimmick with this room is that there is a light right there, and we need to avoid it because we will fall down to our deaths. And also there is like lava drops coming from the ceiling, because this room, folks, this room is actually the Armos room, the same room that we got the dungeon map from. Yeah, the one we had to kill those 4 Armos as Goron Link. So yeah, we're in this room now. Kind of creepy and freaky and cool, and I like it. See, again, see, look, there's the treasure chest where I got the dungeon map and the small key. So yeah, now we're gonna go downstairs, and of course this is the room where we see that hole right there. That would have that was the area that had to make the bomb to make the sunlight to move the sunblock from the previous room. So yeah. Anyway, this room right here contains Poes, and like, if you can, try and kill them. If you cannot, just be mindful because they can really knock you up. Because as you can see here, we're going to have to use our Deku Flower to go from this end of the room to the other end of the room. And if the Poe knocks you off, we're going to have to start over and do this again. Yay. Oh, and here's a fun fact. The Poes will not be affected by your stone mask. So, even if you have the stone mask on, they will still chase you. Because I guess Poes are invisible and they can see other invisible things. So, yeah. So just go ahead and make your way across to this other side right here. Careful of the Poes again. Alright. Now, once we get to the other side right here, use the Deku Flower here to get to this little alcove right there. This little tunnel area. Of course, again, be careful of the Poes. Don't let them hit you. And then we'll get right here to this area here. And this tunnel area is actually the area where we had to get the 4 switches and use one of the crates on the switch to hold it down. Now this room here contains a new enemy called the Death Armos. That's right, the Death Armos. Their gimmick here is they will patrol an area, and if they see Link, they will smash into him, and they will take away a full heart. So that sucks. Now you can do 2 things. You can either shoot those guys with a light arrow, because if you look closely, they have red blood jewels on their chests, which means they can be flipped upside down. And after they're flipped upside down, if they see you and they try to smash into you, they will actually smash into their heads, and they'll die that way. But if you're like me, I put on the stone mask, and they'll ignore me completely. Alright, what I'm doing right here is I've stepped on the only switch and held it down using a statue of myself. Then afterwards, what we're going to do now is a hook shot over to the chest. And again, careful of the Death Armos. And inside this chest will be another small key. Yay. Now, to be honest, I don't know if that switch I just pressed is a pressure switch. But, given the nature of this temple, better safe than sorry. So yeah, I'm not going to kill these things, I'm just going to ignore them completely and get out of this area. Alright, then we have to jump back to this platform and proceed to the next room. Again, the Poes will not be affected by your stone mask. Alright. So folks, I'll see you in part 53 when we'll finish this temple.